All right, we're going to start learning all about perspective. And there are 3 types of perspective. There's 1-point perspective, 2-point perspective, and 3-point perspective. We're going to start with just the 1 today, and we're all going to create a 1-point perspective. You will need some circles or something that is round. I would suggest probably using different sized coins like quarters. So let's start with the first part of perspective. Oh, and you're also going to need some sort of straight edge. It doesn't have to be a ruler, but it does have to be straight. So we're going to start with, if it's 1-point perspective, we're going to draw us a dot because we're going to start with 1 point. It can be smaller than that. You can see it. It doesn't have to be big, just enough to see. And then we're going to, and I'm going to do this on the computer, so it might be look a little easier, but you're going to trace around a shape that is circular. So we'll go with, you just traced a dime. And then you can use your straight edge to create rectangles. You also can do smaller circles or ovals, whatever you can find shape-wise to trace around. And that'll be completely up to you what shapes you want to do. We are going to do, let's do one more circle over here. All right. So we're going to do 1-point perspective, which means, and my lines aren't going to be really straight, but you're going to use a ruler for this next part. So we're going to line up from this far edge of our circle to the dot. So we're going to line it up. I don't know how to use this ruler thing, but let's see if I can figure it out. We're going to line it up right here from there to the dot to the edge of that. And then we're going to draw us a straight line. Then we're going to move it over here and we're going to draw another straight line from the edge. And look at that. I did not line it up to the edge right there, but you're going to do better than me because you're actually going to use pencil and paper. You can erase your mistakes and fix them. All right, so it's from the edge to the dot. Y'all don't, this is a no-no. Don't do that. And come on, I erased. I don't know. I just made a stray mark, but I'm sure there's a better way to do this, but I don't know what it is. So you're going to line them up so they touch. This is the proper way to do it. Hold on, let's get rid of this ruler. This is the proper way to do it right here. This is the big old no-no right here. All right, so then we're going to do, I'm going to just draw these lines as straight as I can get them because it's easier than using that ruler. But y'all are going to use a ruler. So from this one, you're going to go from this corner right here. You're going to go from the corner to the dot. And then you're going to go from this corner to the dot. And you're going to go from this corner to the dot. And then this one, you're going to go from this corner to the dot and this corner to the dot. But can you go from this corner or this corner? No, because they would be back behind, so we're not going to do those corners. And then we're going to do here and we're going to do here. So that is a really easy way to show you 1-point perspective. All right, now I'm going to go to another image that I want you to see. This is more of what y'all are going to create for me. So, oh, wrong thing. Go here, and I'm going to pick this pretty. This is one that was done by my students. And if you look, you can see, all right, hit me done right there. You can see that they have their 1 point right here in the middle, and they have their shapes, their circles right here. They have their circles drawn with something very circular, and then they use the ruler to draw the lines to the dot. So you're going to draw everything, and you're going to draw it in pencil, because if you go and you draw this one that we just drew right here, and then you want to draw one in front of it, so you would draw this square, and then you would draw this in front of it, and then any lines of this one, you would have to erase under here so this one looks like it is on top. So you're going to use overlapping that we've already learned and we've talked about as you create your design for 1-point perspective. So you can do rectangles, you can do squares, you can do circles, you can do basically any shape you can find around your house to trace around so you have nice shapes. Now I'm going to add another picture on here. I'm going to show you something different. So not only can you make the shapes go to the dot, see how this person decided they were going to make their shapes stop. I do want to show you that they did this not quite right. I love the way they colored it, but do you see that oh no, stop moving. There you go. All right, so do you see this curve right here? See this curve that they have as it goes around? They did their lines very straight right here. So if I'm going to make this shape stop, I need to have it have the same curve as this curve. Do y'all see that? So this is technically incorrect. The curves that they added on the bottom of all of theirs are not correct. So I wanted you to show you that. So I'm showing you the option of making some of your shapes stop and not actually go to the dot. They are going with an invisible line to the dot, so they technically are still 1 point perspective. Also, if you're going to make a line do this, you want to make sure and draw all your original lines very lightly so you'll be able to completely erase when you get to that part. Next thing I want to show you is I'm going to add me another layer on here. I'm going to go to another one. This is really cool. So if you draw your shape, so we had, gotta make it stop. There you go. So I drew my shape. I had this shape right here. This is what was here first, the outside shape. And then I'm going to draw and make it look like a tube. So I've drawn my tube shape, and it could end as that. So I could have done and made this one look hollow if I would have drawn with a smaller circle inside of it. So I did that, and I made it have this edge. This is like it gives it a thickness if you draw the inside line. And then you can make it like this person made their stop. Again, not quite the right shape of the curvature of that, and it needs to match this one, just like we just talked about. But they did that, and then they erased, or they drew them a new line here and a new line here, and they put their new shape. It does have to be a little smaller, so it'll go inside. It does still need to go to this dot. These interior lines still go to the dot. And then you would need to, hold on, let me find my tool I'm looking for. I'm gonna get my eraser. You need, it's erasing all the layers, but you can tell what I'm doing. You would need to erase those lines of this bottom part of the tube, so it makes this one right. Let me get my pencil back. This one right here look like it is going through this bigger tube. So you can do it with squares. If you look, don't have my original. Let's look at this one. So, oh gracious, no. We'll find something that I can write with. We'll just go with this big old pencil here. All right, so if you look at this shape, that's not writing at all anymore, yay. But you look right here, you can use other shapes besides just the circles and do this same thing. Here you got like a hexagon or something. So I just wanted to show you the different ways that you can do it. So we're going to take that one away. So you can just have your pieces all going to the dot. You can have your pieces stopping and not going to the dot. And if you want to get really fancy, you can try to make your pieces hollow and maybe have other tubes going through them like this fancy piece right here. So your job today is to use your paper, not giving you in a size that you have to do. Today you are going to do a composition of these shapes, which means you need to fill your page with shapes. So I'm not going to give you a magic number that you have to do, but your shape, your whole composition of your page needs to be filled with shapes, and they all need to be in 1 point perspective going to the dot. So that is your job today. Draw it in pencil, draw it lightly so you'll be able to erase all of your other lines, and then submit it today, and that is your assignment. All right, I will tell you what we're going to do next tomorrow. Thank you. All right, I got to figure out how to turn it off.